was a hot summer night. I was asleep, but I was startled awake when something hit me in the face. As I woke up, my brain was racing. What could it be? There must be a bird in my room. And the seconds went by, and my brain got to that place. It's a bat. So I'm peeking around in my bedroom, and I see it. It's in the curtains by the bay window. And it starts coming towards me again. I scream, and I pull the sheet over my head, and I start flailing my arms and my legs and screaming as loud as I can so it will not want to land on me. And when I think that it's gone back away, I peek out again. Plus, I felt like I was suffocating under the sheet. Did I mention it was hot? I peek out. It's back over there on the curtains. I realize this is my chance. I run out of the bedroom. I run into the bathroom, close the door, and try to take a deep breath and think about what I'm going to do. So, while I'm making my plan, I know I need to get to the room at the end of the hallway and just get the door open, right? Bats have radar. It wants to get out of the house. All I need to do is give it the way out, right? It's going to find its way out. So I peek out the door and I see it. It's flying back and forth down the hallway. So I watch it for a little while, keep thinking about my plan. At some time during this time, I realized that I get totally freaked out with the idea that the bat might hit my bare shoulders. I had this tank top thing on, so I get a bath towel and I wrap it around my shoulders. And now I'm watching the bat. It goes downstairs. This is my chance. I run down to the room at the end of the hall. I open the door that's at the corner. I have a balcony there. 8 years I've lived in this house, never had a bat before. I left that door open all summer long, every year I lived there. I don't know where this bat came from. But anyway, so I open the door, I get down in the corner on the other side where the bat has no business coming. Are you with me? Right? I have the towel around, I'm safe, I'm just like this, like this. You can't see that, but it's just kind of, you know. That bat flew into that room and landed on the floor right in front of me and did this. At which point, I just screamed, and I don't know, I have a memory of stomping my feet, but I was in that position, so I don't know how that happened, but I just screamed, get out of my house! And for some reason it did. Thank God, because I don't know when it was sitting there, I don't know what would have happened. But anyway, so it flew out. So of course the next day at work, I'm telling my bat story, and everybody's saying, oh, bats don't hurt you, they're just scared, they want to get out of the house. I'm like, that is not my experience. This bat hit me in the face when I was asleep, came after me when I was under the sheet, and laid down on the floor in front of me and did what? That. No, it was after me. So I have to say that was just the beginning of a long run. I've had quite a few bad experiences since then and continue to have them. And when you live in a house where you have regular bad experiences, you learn a lot about yourself, right? So you're like telling yourself, don't freak out. It's really just a little animal with wings. What is all this panic about? I don't remember that when the bat's flying around. And no, I go right to the panic place. You learn a lot about the people around you, how they react. When I tell people I have a bat, most people go this really practical, problem-solving place. So how is it getting in? And I say, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that kind of implies that I know where it's getting in and I'm not taking care of it. But as soon as I say I don't really know where it's coming in, I've tried to figure that out. I don't really know what's coming in. And then people launch into all these stories about they've heard these things about they can get in really teeny tiny spaces, which all leaves you feeling really hopeless because clearly you're never going to figure it out. So I also have interesting experiences with friends and family and how they deal with it if they happen to be visiting me when a bat comes and that sort of thing. So my granddaughter, if you ever run across her, can tell you a really funny story about time she was there and I sat on the floor and put a pillow on my head and screamed, which I told her was just between us, but she doesn't listen. And my son, who when we were sitting in the one room and this bat came flying out of a poinsettia plant right at my face and I screamed and tried to get under a futon. I don't know. Mine is about this far off the ground. I don't know what your futon's allowed, but he made a lot of fun of me about that. So, and another particularly funny time, I was at the house alone. My kids were older at that time, but both my sons, my older son was out with friends, and my younger son had gone to spend the night at my parents' house. I'm in that room that's at the end of the hallway. I had a computer in there. I'm doing playing games on a computer or something, and I sensed that feeling. It's in there. Oh, there's the bat. So I get a broom, and I'm just sitting there watching for it. I'm just mad. I just want to be in my house and do what I want to do. And I call my older son, James, I'm in the house by myself. You have to come and help me. There's a bat. I don't know where it went. I'm afraid to go to bed. And he says, well, Mom, I'm out with my friends. I said, okay. And he said, and for real, I'm afraid of bats. I said, okay, whatever. So then I called my parents. Now, they live 3.5 hours away. I don't have the kind of relationship with them that I just call them to ask for help. But they were just kind of on my mind because my younger son was there. So I call, my dad answers. And I say, Dad, there's a bat in the house. You have to come and help me. Without missing a beat, he says, do you have a tennis racket? And I said, yeah. And he said, get the tennis racket. You got to go around, knock on where the curtains are. It's in your curtains. When it flies out, you hit it with that tennis racket and you can kill it. So while I'm talking to him on the phone, I go downstairs in the basement and find this old warped tennis racket I have. And I do feel a little more powerful, although I need to share that I don't think I could kill a bat. But I thought I could kind of, I don't know, protect myself a little bit with it. So then he passes the phone to my son. I say, Nate, you left me all alone in the house, and you're braver than your older brother, and you're not here to help me. And he just kind of laughs and passes the phone to my mom. My mother, I have to tell you, is not a well-traveled person. She's probably been in hotels like as many times as you can count on your fingers. But when I tell her there's a bat in the house, she says, Debbie, get your purse and go to a hotel. So it's fun to see what all different ways people react, and I'm happy to say that a woman who I was dating, who I had a bat in the house the first time she came to my house, is now my wife, so it's not all bad.